Be prepared for the most unusual 3-day period of your life. This video might be your only warning. Although the new moon isn't expected until the 20th, something has already shifted. Since the last quarter on November 12th, the moon's energy has been collapsing faster than usual, almost as if it's withdrawing its influence prematurely. Over the next 3 days, this vacuum will create effects that most people won't comprehend, but you will. Because if you're here, you're already sensing what others are overlooking. Something is approaching. When the moon pulls back like this, something else moves forward. During the next 3 days, being out in public might expose you to people who aren't looking at you. They're searching for you. During this early lunar darkness, certain individuals become unconsciously drawn to energy without realizing it. Not in a supernatural way, but in the way drained, chaotic, and unfocused people instinctively latch onto anyone who feels stable, calm, or different. If you're sensitive, bright, or intuitive, this is the moment you become a magnet. That's why staying home is the safest option. However, if you have to leave, work, run errands, or fulfill responsibilities, go ahead. Just be cautious about who you stand near, who you talk to, and who you allow into your emotional space. Because during this window, people aren't just noticing you, they're sensing you. You'll understand why this sudden attention isn't random, and why the moon's early disappearance has awakened something you weren't meant to ignore. During this early lunar darkness, something unusual happens. Instead of feeling drained or tired, many people start feeling more alive at night than during the day. It's almost like their energy flips without warning. If you're naturally a night person, you might suddenly find yourself wide awake long after midnight, feeling clearer, sharper, and even a little wired. Conversely, for some people, it works the opposite way. Those who have always felt their best at night may suddenly experience a burst of energy, of the daytime energy they haven't felt in years. This isn't insomnia or random. It's the moon shifting the internal rhythm of certain individuals before the rest of the world catches up. When the moon begins withdrawing early, it creates pockets of energy that don't flow as they usually do. The moon doesn't just affect the tides, it affects the tides within you. This temporary inversion is the moon's attempt to pull you into a different pace, a different rhythm, and a different awareness. You're not malfunctioning, you're adjusting. For the next 3 days, the night may feel more honest than the morning. You may find your creativity, thoughts, intuition, and clarity sharpen the moment the world goes quiet. This is one of the reasons staying present is so important right now. When the moon shifts your rhythm, it's also preparing you for something that doesn't work on the old schedule. This shift in energy leads directly into something deeper, a feeling that catches everyone off guard, no matter how strong they are. You'll feel like everyone's moving forward except you. That's not failure, that's a setup. Over the next 3 days, you might start feeling like you're falling behind, like everyone around you has momentum, and you don't. You'll see people living their lives, making progress, talking about their plans, and suddenly you feel like you're standing still. This isn't a coincidence. Whenever the moon withdraws too early, it creates a moment where your own pace slows down so drastically that it doesn't match the world around you. And that mismatch tricks your mind into believing you're losing time, losing opportunities, or losing direction. But here's the twist. You're not stuck. You're being held in place on purpose. The moon slows you down during these rare compression periods, so you don't sprint back toward old habits, old people, or old versions of yourself, just to feel like you're moving. This stillness is not punishment. Stillness becomes a protective shield when the path ahead undergoes a transformative change. The moon's gentle pull draws you away from the cacophony, allowing you to perceive the unfolding events with clarity rather than blindly rushing to keep pace. As this energetic pause subsides, you won't merely move forward. You'll progress with a newfound sense of purpose. This clarity instills an inevitability in the next step, transforming it from a forced endeavor into an undeniable progression. It creates an unmistakable path, guiding you toward your destiny. This feeling of being behind serves as a crucial preparation for the changes that lie ahead. And these changes herald the beginning of a profound shift. Day 2 presents a distinct turning point, occurring consistently around midnight. It's not the dramatic midnight that people often romanticize, but a peculiar hour of quiet where everything seems slightly disoriented. This marks the zenith of what people refer to as the moon silence, the moment when the moon's initial withdrawal reaches its peak intensity. This sensation is felt regardless of one's spiritual beliefs or awareness of energetic phenomena. What sets this window apart is its profound impact on our awareness. Many individuals report feeling unusually alert when they should be exhausted. Their minds suddenly transition into a mode they don't typically use. This isn't an adrenaline rush or an anxiety attack. It's a shift in the brain's perception, transitioning from external noise to inner precision. This heightened awareness leads to increased observation, presence, and a heightened sensitivity to the subtle details that we often overlook. You might find yourself noticing tiny sounds in your home that you've never paid attention to before. The hum of the refrigerator suddenly becomes more pronounced, and the wind outside feels more deliberate. Even the buzzing of your phone feels sharper, and silence itself seems to possess a distinct shape. This is precisely what the midnight window accomplishes. It sharpens perception in a surreal yet non-threatening manner. Some individuals describe this as a moment when their thoughts slow down just enough for them to discern the underlying truths. It's a chance to confront thoughts they've been avoiding and uncover the truths they've been circling around, but never said out loud. An idea suddenly makes perfect sense, even though it wasn't fully formed an hour earlier. This is the only moment when your intuition becomes louder than your logic. This window isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to reveal something. It's the only moment in this entire 3-day shift when the noise of daily life fades effortlessly. The world becomes quiet enough for you to hear what your intuition has been trying to tell you all week. And what you sense in this window will set the tone for the rest of the shift. But the strangest part isn't the silence. It's what comes after. The part where reality starts bending in your favor in the most unexpected ways. There's a phenomenon that only appears during rare lunar distortions like this one, and it's easily the most confusing part of the entire shift. For a short period of time, effort and reward stop matching. Things you chase will run twice as fast in the opposite direction, while things you release will circle right back toward you like they were waiting for that moment. It's what people call inverted luck. When the moon pulls its energy back early, the usual energetic cause and effect get flipped. You'll notice it in small everyday things. The harder you try to force a conversation, the more awkward it becomes. The more desperately you try to finish a task, the more distractions appear. The more you chase clarity, the foggier everything becomes. But the moment you stop pushing, everything starts falling into place in ways you didn't expect. Some people experience this in almost comical ways. You might misplace your wallet, panic for an hour, and then someone returns it with something extra inside, a note, a receipt, something that somehow ends up being useful. You could miss the bus you were rushing for, only to bump into someone at the stop who tells you one sentence that changes your whole week. You might give up on sending a message or applying for something you thought you missed, and then receive the exact outcome you wanted. I wanted without lifting a finger. Inverted luck reveals what's meant for you by refusing to let you force what isn't. This 3-day window amplifies that reversal effect. It's almost like the universe is testing your grip. Anything you squeeze too tightly slips away, but anything you release shifts into alignment. And the best part, you don't have to believe in luck for it to work. You just have to let things move without chasing them. If you want to truly understand this shift, try it intentionally. Stop pushing on something you've been forcing all week. Pull your energy back and watch what happens next. The results usually arrive faster than the things you've been stressing over. And this inversion isn't random. It's setting you up for something much bigger that happens in the final phase of the shift, The moment when everything that felt confusing suddenly makes sense. You're planned to be productive and instantly feel like you're forcing it. This part of the shift catches almost everyone off guard because it doesn't look dramatic from the outside. In fact, it appears incredibly normal. You wake up, decide to get something done. Maybe clean your room, answer messages, finish work, or get ahead on something you've been putting off. And the moment you try to start, you feel this sudden emptiness. Not sadness, not tiredness, just a quiet, hollow resistance that makes even the simplest task feel like you're dragging yourself through wet cement. It doesn't matter how motivated you were the night before or how much pressure you put on yourself in the morning. This part of the lunar shift makes your body reject anything that feels forced or artificially productive. You can sit at your laptop for an hour and feel like your thoughts are slipping through your fingers. You can pick up your phone to respond to one message and suddenly feel drained for no reason. Even physical tasks like reorganizing your space or going for a walk feel strangely heavy, as if something inside you is resisting. You keep pulling yourself back. Most people mistake this for laziness or procrastination, but it's nothing like that. This is the moon clearing out a pattern people don't even realize they've been trapped in, the pattern of performing productivity instead of living it. The old rhythm of doing just to feel like you're doing something gets interrupted during this phase. Anything that isn't aligned, authentic, or genuinely meaningful hits a wall immediately. Your mind wants to move forward, but your energy refuses to participate, creating this sudden empty feeling you can't explain. This emptiness isn't a void, it's a redirection. The moon removes what you do out of pressure so you can return to what you do out of purpose. Right now, your internal world is moving more than your external world, which is why outward action feels pointless. The shift happening inside you is the real movement. If you try to ignore it, your energy shuts down the moment you push. This phase is pulling your focus inward, forcing you to confront what motivates you. Not the surface-level reasons you tell yourself, but the deeper truth behind why you choose the things you choose. Once the shift clears, action will feel natural again. Not forced, not pressured, but instinctive and precise. This internal redirection is preparing you for the next part of the shift, where your body begins revealing things your mind has been avoiding. When the moon goes silent, your body starts speaking louder. During these rare compression windows, your body becomes the first thing to react, not emotionally or physically. People often try to brush off the signals, but the body has a way of communicating things the mind hasn't processed yet. Because the moon's energy is pulling inward so quickly, your body becomes a kind of receiver for the pressure change, picking up subtle shifts you would normally ignore. You may feel a pressure building in your forehead, like a soft weight sitting behind your eyes. It's not painful, just unusual, like your focus is being involuntarily drawn to the space between your eyebrows. This is one of the most common signals during the moon's silence, and it's not random. It's your mind becoming more attuned to subtle shifts in your environment, people's intentions, and hidden emotions. Some people experience a gentle, harmless ringing in their ears. It's not a medical issue, but a frequency shift. It comes and goes quickly, like a brief reminder that something within you is tuning itself to a different rhythm. Alternatively, you may feel a strange sensation in your chest. It's not anxiety, but a subtle tightening or expansion that occurs for only a few seconds at a time. This is your internal compass recalibrating and adjusting to the moon's sudden withdrawal. These sensations are not warnings, they're indicators. They show that your body is picking up information before your mind fully comprehends what's happening. Your body notices the truth long before your thoughts catch up. The moon's silence amplifies what's already within you, making your physical reactions more pronounced as they attempt to draw your attention. These sensations aren't related to trauma, unhealed wounds, or emotional baggage. Instead, they're suppressed instincts, forgotten insights, or intuitive signals you haven't acknowledged yet. The best course of action right now is to pay attention without panicking. None of these sensations are harmful. They're simply signs that your internal system is responding to the shift in the lunar field. It's as if your soul is transmitting messages through your body because that's the only channel that's currently quiet enough to hear them. And these signals matter because they lead directly into the next phase. This is the part of the shift where these subtle sensations begin to transform into clarity, direction, and sudden understanding. Your intuition will be strong, but it may be misleading you. This phase of the moon shift is the most confusing because it's when the experience becomes most perplexing. Your inner world ceases to adhere to its usual rules. Normally, intuition manifests subtly, a gentle nudge, a soft pull, a recurring thought that compels you to listen. However, during this lunar distortion, intuition doesn't whisper, it booms. It disrupts your thoughts, appearing in bursts. Ideas arrive fully formed, as if they've materialized out of thin air. The peculiar aspect is how authentic these impulses feel. You might awaken with a strong urge to text someone you haven't connected with in months. You might suddenly recall a person from your past and feel convinced they're thinking about you. You might sense a pressing need to make a significant decision right now, something drastic, final, and unlike your usual reasoning. These impulses feel like intuition because they carry weight. But the issue lies in the artificial nature of that weight. The moon's silence creates an energetic interference that blends your genuine intuition with distorted signals, turning your inner guidance into something unpredictable. It's akin to tuning into a radio station that constantly mixes the music with static. You hear the melody, but the noise keeps twisting it into something else. This is why so many people misinterpret their thoughts during this period. They experience random fears and perceive them as warnings. They have sudden memories and interpret them as signs. They feel moments of doubt and mistake them for clarity. They jump to conclusions, end relationships impulsively, commit to things they don't genuinely want, or push themselves into stressful decisions simply because the thought felt strong. However, strength isn't the indicator. Stability is. And during this shift, very few thoughts feel stable. This is the crucial aspect that demands the most awareness. You must test your intuition instead of automatically obeying it. If a thought feels urgent, chaotic, emotional, or rushed, it's the static speaking, not your soul. Because the truth is simple. Never trust a thought that screams when your spirit is silent. This phase is not trying to mislead you. It aims to demonstrate how often you confuse fear with intuition. It unveils the distinction between instinct and impulse. It emphasizes the difference between panic and alignment. For the next 3 days, the wisest decision you can make is to wait. Allow your thoughts to be processed for 72 hours. If they're genuine, they'll persist. If they fade, they were never intuition. They were interference. And as the static subsides, something entirely different emerges. Something much more deliberate, much more targeted, and much harder to ignore. As day 3 approaches, the static begins to settle. Your thoughts cease their erratic jumping. Your impulses cease feeling explosive. Your mind stops attempting to interpret everything as a message. However, this doesn't create silence. It creates repetition. This is the phase where the world around you starts echoing itself. You might hear the same word from multiple individuals in completely unrelated conversations. You might see the same animal, number, or symbol repeatedly. You could hear the same phrase twice in a single day from entirely different sources, or stumble upon the same idea repeatedly, even when you're not actively seeking it. It's not synchronicity in the mystical sense. It's not the universe sending neon signs or coded messages. It's something more subtle and psychological, yet also more powerful. Prioritization. The moon shift amplifies the frequency of anything you've unconsciously avoided, suppressed, or postponed. Instead of whispering symbols, it repeats themes. It loops ideas. It highlights patterns you've been blind to. This repetition doesn't feel magical. It feels oddly persistent, as if something won't leave you alone until you acknowledge it. If boundaries have been an issue, you might keep encountering conversations about people-pleasing. If you've been avoiding a difficult conversation, the same topic might surface on social media, in a movie, or in a random chat with a stranger. You've been neglecting your goals, and you might keep hearing the same motivational message from different sources. This isn't a coincidence. It's repetition revealing your priorities. The moon isn't sending a message. It's removing your ability to ignore something that's making one aspect of your life so noticeable that pretending you don't see it becomes impossible. And the moment you acknowledge the repetition, the moment you say, "Okay, I see it. I get it," the repetition stops like someone turned off a switch. That's the interesting part. The repetition doesn't continue endlessly. It only continues until you consciously recognize the theme. Once you see it, the loop ends, the pressure lifts, and the energy of the shift starts to unlock. This is the final sign that the moon shift is doing its job. Clearing static, clearing confusion, clearing avoidance, and preparing you for the moment when everything begins to make sense. The weirdness of these 3 days is not a warning. It's a blessing hidden as confusion. What makes this moon shift so different from any other cycle is its subtlety. It doesn't announce itself with dramatic emotional spikes or overwhelming intuitive hits. Instead, it rearranges things quietly in the background where you don't notice the shift until you're already standing in the middle of it. Everything strange you've experienced in these days has been part of a larger recalibration. The early darkness, the strange energy flip, the sudden clarity at night, the static intuition, and the repetition of signs. All of these micro-experiences are pieces of a bigger structure forming underneath your normal awareness. It's almost like the moon has been building a new version of your path while distracting you with temporary uncertainty. You think you're off track, unfocused, unproductive, or emotionally distant. But that's because your internal system is trying to stop you from continuing down roads that were never meant to be long-term. The confusion you felt wasn't a mistake. It was a sign that you were on the right path. Derailment. It was your life refusing to let you sprint towards something misaligned. The moon is doing something incredibly specific. It's weakening your attachment to the wrong timeline by making it feel uncomfortable. Think about it. The tasks you tried to force didn't move. The people you tried to match didn't feel right. And the thoughts you tried to trust kept changing shape. Even your intuition, usually your compass, felt scrambled. This isn't failure. It's divine interference. The universe is stepping in and saying, "You're not going back to the life you've already outgrown." Most people don't recognize blessings when they come disguised as resistance. We're conditioned to believe that ease means alignment and hardship means disorder. But in spiritual shifts like this one, it's often the reverse. The blessing you can't see yet is the path you didn't destroy when the universe slowed you down. If everything had gone your way this week, you might have taken steps that looked productive but weren't right for you. You might have pushed yourself into commitments that drain you later. You might have moved too fast toward things you're meant to walk away from. The moon's early retreat forced you to strip away your autopilot and sit with your real direction. It made you question whether your pace, your goals, your people, and your habits were truly yours or just comfortable patterns you've been carrying. And when a pattern breaks, it feels like chaos. But that chaos is where clarity is born. This entire shift has been realigning you without your permission. It's removing illusions you didn't even realize were illusions. And when this 3-day distortion lifts, your life will feel strangely lighter. Conversations will become clearer, pressure will fade, and your intuition will settle into a steady voice again. What once felt confusing will make perfect sense. The blessing becomes obvious once the interference stops because the moment silence ends, direction begins. The version of you who emerges from this lunar shift will be fundamentally different from the one who entered. As the moon begins to re-emerge on the 20th, a subtle yet profound transformation begins within you. This recalibration is not loud or dramatic, but rather steady and irreversible. You won't wake up feeling like a completely new person immediately. A shift is not theatrical. It's more like waking up one morning and realizing that your thought patterns have changed. The thoughts that once caused you stress no longer hold the same power. The people who once drained your energy no longer affect you as they used to. The patterns that once felt automatic suddenly become optional. This is where the true transformation occurs. It doesn't happen in the moment of the shift, but rather in the days that follow. Your energy won't just return. It will return refined. You won't notice the moment you change. The world will notice it for you. And that's precisely how this shift operates. The change begins internally, quietly, but its effects are evident externally in your speech, reactions, movements, and the things you allow into your space. You'll start making decisions with greater confidence and without the emotional weight that used to hinder you. If you've been following along, I want to express my gratitude for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and would like to see more, please consider subscribing. Your support means a lot to me. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.